And Sneha, there is something that you have said. We all dread PIPs. Who loves PIPs? We all dread PIPs. And probably it's a good thing for some people because it's an awakening. Could you tell us a little bit more about being in PIP and getting out of PIP? Performance improvement plan. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was in university. I always was, when I was a student, academics was actually weirdly easy for me. I was the girl that could study last minute and do okay at my exam. And that's kind of how I cruised through high school and university. And I had never really understood sort of the consistency of being in a workplace. It was my first job beyond a few internships that I had done. And so I think I just went in not really understanding. And then secondly, I had a lot of imposter syndrome because like I said, there were 4 really senior men. They all really got it. And I just didn't understand. And so I think, yeah, I definitely looking back caused that situation, but I was so grateful because when my boss sat me down and said, look, it's the credit crisis. There's not a lot of budget. Like, no, this is not a time when every single person's just going to make it through. It made me pull my socks up and be like, oh my gosh. And the discipline you talk about, I was always quite curious, but just got the boldness and the courage to speak up. I think in many ways it was an awakening if you use that as a learning and not a failure that just keeps you down.
Yeah. And probably why many people sort of go into PIP or probably performance is a problem is not asking. And I suffered from that disease because if I ask, they might think I'm stupid. They might think I'm whatever. I'm coming back to you to ask you, how do you navigate that? How do you gain the courage to ask? And is it a remedy?
Yeah. I mean, I think initially it is hard, right? Like you always wonder what other people think. But I think that curiosity and asking questions and gaining clarity, at some point you realize that it helps you kind of push forward and navigate. I can't remember exactly what changed for me. Maybe it was just knowing that if I didn't change something, I'd lose my job. But I think today I really do appreciate authenticity. I think that's in a workplace, if somebody works for me and they come and say, I don't know, I actually realize it's so much better than pretending you know. And so I think asking questions, I learned very early on is a way to build trust with someone.